my very sincere thanks for the award. It's a great honor for me to receive this award from Pragati. It's an organization I deeply respect and from which I have learned so much. I was asked to make a few comments by Anu on leadership. A question that's sometimes asked is, can leadership be learned? And I think I would like to answer that by saying that, yes, it can. And it can through exposure. There are two ways through exposure. One is by education, including from whether it's coaches, whether it's experts like, people like Arun and Anu and all of you here at Pragati. And the second is by observation of leadership styles from other good leaders. So in these next few minutes, I will share a few lessons in leadership that I've learned, some of which I've learned from Arun and Anu at Pragati, and some by observation of other leaders of various organizations, including that of our own father, who has been a great mentor to both my brother Naushad and me. So let me just quickly run through a few of these lessons. Number one is learning to listen. Too often as leaders, we believe we need to provide answers and solutions to situations. More often than not, those answers actually come from the people we lead. We need to provide the opportunity to hear them out. And those answers that we get are usually much more likely to be the right ones. And they're also much more likely to be more easily implemented as they come from the people who ultimately are going to implement them. The second is taking time to reflect. After you listen, take time to reflect. Take time to reflect and then form opinions. Debate the alternatives with the people who provide them. And then based on consideration of those alternatives, that brings us to the third, and that's, again, taking time to reflect and then changing opinions if necessary, but without compromising one's values and principles. So one should be open to changing one's opinion, but being true to one's values and principles. Fourth is on the aspect of feedback. And feedback works in two ways. One is to provide feedback and provide it as honestly as you can so that it comes across with sincerity. And then the fifth is to receive feedback. And when we receive feedback, again, to keep our ears open and listen rather than reacting. And that's something which I've also learned often from Arun in our various interactions, is that when we get feedback, is not to react, but to just digest it, listen. The sixth is to be assertive and empathetic. It need not be one or the other. We can be both assertive and at the same time empathetic. Seventh is to have humility. We need to recognize that we're not perfect, that we make mistakes, and that we should have the humility to accept them when necessary. And finally, the last, and that is to lead by setting an example rather than by direction. So we need to practice what we preach. So those, in a very brief summary, I think each of these could be a subject on its own, but those were my 8 lessons of leadership, which I thought I would share. So thank you very much again for this award. And it's been a privilege to be here and to receive it from you all. Thank you very much.